A few years ago, our family got caught off guard by the first snowstorm of the winter. Now you'd think we'd always be ready for snow living in Chicago, but with 4 kids, it's hard to keep everything in stock. So I left my wife home with the snow pans to sort through them, and I loaded the 4 kids into the van and we headed for Target. Now imagine this, me, 4 kids under the age of 8, going into this giant Target store. We braved the long, freezing trek through the parking lot and finally reached the warmth and safety of our favorite box store. We regrouped by the carts, and I barked out my orders like a drill instructor. Okay kids, we're here for one thing and one thing only, waterproof mittens. So follow me, that's all you have to do. Just follow me. Joseph, get in the cart. The rest of you, let's go. I thought my speech was very effective. Eventually, I looked back to see how the following was going. Joseph was doing fine. He was strapped in the cart. Ben was doing some sort of covert serpentine thing, back and forth from rack to rack. Ooh, a PlayStation. Wait, is that deodorant? Orange juice. I love orange juice. Morgan, she had stopped by an earring tree, and she was looking at them, dismantling it one by one as they fell on the floor. Lena? Where was Lena? I thought my instructions were pretty simple. Follow me. But for them, it was the most difficult task in the world. Clearly, my kids are damaged. They have no idea how to follow me. When Jesus called people, these were his instructions too. Follow me. In other words, walk the way I walk, take the actions that I take, do the stuff I do. In Jesus' time, it was normal for rabbis to call disciples to follow them. What wasn't normal was what Jesus called these disciples to. He said, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So today, we as followers of Jesus have the same call in our lives. Follow me. And we've put all kinds of definitions around that. You know, like following Jesus means being really moral and good. Or following Jesus means having devotions every day and being in his word. Or becoming very spiritual, or maybe being a great mother or father. And all those things are really good. But we seem to have left out or missed the unique and unusual call that Jesus gave his disciples, that we would become fishers of men. Jesus' instructions were pretty simple. But for us, it seems like the most difficult task in the world. Clearly, we're damaged. We don't know how to follow Jesus. This became very real for me several years ago when I started Jericho Road Church. We wanted to be a church on a mission. That meant we had to get involved with our neighbors. So I coached baseball and soccer. I attended neighborhood parties. I had people over to my house for dinner. I made a lot of amazing friends. In fact, those friends even respected me for what I did and even knew I was a follower of Jesus. The problem? I had no idea how to follow Jesus in fishing for men. No one had ever taught me. The problem with followers of Jesus is that when we think of fishing for men, we think it means that we have to have all the answers. Like we have to have a speech prepared, or the 4 spiritual laws at the ready, or we have to tell them our story in some profound way. It's like we want to unload the truth on people with like a fire hose. We fish with dynamite, like we throw the dynamite in the water. You know, the fish float to the top, we scoop them all up. Unfortunately, they're already dead. We forget that Jesus approached people differently. He approached them with questions. He allowed those questions to hang in the air, and then allowed the Holy Spirit to move in and through those questions. About a year ago, a new friend asked me to start a Q Place with him. Q Place means question place. It's a safe place that you establish in your home to engage spiritually confused friends and neighbors in a conversation about God. We each invited 6 friends. Come to my living room and have a conversation about God. And we started with this. If you could ask God one question and you knew he would answer, what would you ask him? The questions were all over the map. Some were profound, some were weird, some were confusing, some were disturbing. But the great thing is, that night, we talked about God for an hour and a half. And that conversation has lasted for almost a year now. All because we took the first step, cast a net, and invited our friends and neighbors into a conversation. And just let the questions hang there. So I have a question for you. Are you fishing for men? Are you following Jesus in the work that he's doing? Seriously, when's the last time you had a spiritual conversation with a neighbor or a friend? What are you waiting for? My good friend is a theater director.